Trackpad drawing pad track points. Think of trackpads, drawing pads, and track points as the tactile interpreters of the laptop world. While a standard mouse is great for a desk, these three tools are designed for scenarios where space is tight, precision is paramount, or mobility is the priority. For the A+ exam, you need to understand how these input devices function, how they connect to the motherboard, and how to troubleshoot them when they stop responding. 1. The Trackpad touchpad. The trackpad is the most common input device on a laptop. It uses capacitive sensing to track your finger. Just like a smartphone screen, the trackpad has a grid of tiny electrical sensors under the surface. When your finger touches it, you disrupt the electrical field, and the laptop calculates exactly where that disruption is moving. Multi-touch gestures. Modern trackpads support gestures like pinch to zoom, two-finger scrolling, and three-finger swipes to switch apps. Technicians note, if a trackpad starts behaving erratically, the cursor jumps around or clicks on its own, the first thing to check is for debris or moisture. Even a tiny drop of water or a layer of grease from a snack can trick the capacitive sensors into thinking a finger is touching it. 2. The drawing pad digitizer. While a trackpad is built for general navigation, a drawing pad or graphic tablet is built for precision. These devices are almost exclusively used by artists, engineers, and designers. Absolute positioning. On a trackpad, if you move your finger an inch, the cursor moves a certain distance. On a drawing pad, every spot on the pad corresponds to a specific pixel on the screen. If you tap the top right corner of the pad, the cursor jumps to the top right corner of the screen. Pressure and tilt. Unlike trackpads, drawing pads work with an active stylus. They can detect how hard you are pressing and even the angle of the pen, allowing for realistic brush strokes or technical drafting. Connection. Externally, they usually connect via USB-C internally, on tablets. They are a digitizer layer sandwiched between the LCD and the glass. 3. The trackpoint, the pointing stick. The trackpoint is a legacy favorite, most famously found in the center of Lenovo ThinkPad keyboards. It is that small, usually red, rubber nub sitting between the G, H, and B keys. Isometric operation. Unlike a trackpad, the trackpoint doesn't actually move. It is a strain gauge. When you push it in a certain direction, it measures the pressure and moves the cursor accordingly. The harder you push, the faster the cursor moves. The hands-on keyboard advantage. The reason many professionals love the trackpoint is that you never have to move your hands away from the home row keys to move the mouse. This makes it incredibly efficient for fast typists and coders. Buttons. Trackpoints are always paired with a set of physical buttons located just above the trackpad: left, right, and scroll. 4. Troubleshooting and maintenance. When these devices fail, the fix usually depends on whether the problem is physical or logical. Driver issues. If the trackpad works but the gestures, like scrolling, stop working, it is almost always a driver issue. You should check the device manager and look for the I2C HID device or the manufacturer-specific driver, like Synaptics or Elan. Internal ribbons. If a laptop has been dropped or repaired recently and the trackpad is completely dead, the ZIF zero insertion force ribbon cable that connects the trackpad to the motherboard may have come loose. Physical obstruction. If a trackpoint starts drifting, the mouse moves slowly even when you aren't touching it, the rubber cap might be stuck or pressing against a key. Removing the cap and cleaning it usually solves the problem. The ghost click. On older laptops, if the battery starts to swell, a dangerous condition, it can press upward against the bottom of the trackpad. If a user says their trackpad is stuck or won't click, inspect the laptop for any bulging or warping immediately. Summary for the A+ exam. Trackpads use capacitive sensing for general navigation and multi-touch gestures. Drawing pads use absolute positioning and digitizers for high-precision artistic or technical work. Trackpoints are isometric joysticks that allow for mouse movement without moving hands from the keyboard. Maintenance involves keeping surfaces clean, checking for battery swelling, and ensuring ZIF ribbon cables are seated properly.